guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a get ready with me for work, and as you may know, I am a professional makeup artist. I run most of my business in Orange County and LA primarily, sometimes Palm Springs, and I am a bridal makeup artist. So most of the makeup I do for most of my job is weddings. Well, as you can see, I kind of model my face as a gauge for my bridesmaids, and I do a really soft eye and a nude lip. This is a look I would do on a bridesmaid if they said do whatever you want. I think the rosy tones are really in right now with all the blush gowns and the champagne colors. So if you're interested in this look or you want to see how I do my makeup for my weddings, then please keep watching. So first off, you always want to start with moisturizer and primer. Today I'm using my Milani Clear Advantage Acne Control Moisturizer. It's oil free, so I really like this one. And then also my Benefit Porefessional. This is a ride or die for me. So I'm going to use my Makeup Forever foundation stick. This is a long lasting foundation, so it's great for an all day of work. So I just do a few swipes. And with my Morphe M439, I'm just going to blend it in. This brush is perfect for this foundation. It works so good. So now moving on to concealer, I'm going to use my Morphe concealer. This is in the shade Sand. Might be a little too light for me, but I'm going to make it work. This is a somewhat new product to me. I tried it out about 2 weeks ago, and I've been using it ever since. I went to a Morphe store. So I'm just taking my beauty blender and blending that out. Now that I'm looking like a ghost, I'm going to add some color into my face. This is LA Girls Pro Concealer, and I have mine in the shade Almond. I'm probably going to have to go ham with this just because I don't have much color right now on my face, obviously. So I'm going to put it on my cheeks, and I like to go a little higher than my cheekbone just because when I blend it out, I like to blend down even though you're not supposed to. I just find that it looks more natural. To blend that in, I like to use my buffing brush by Real Techniques. Now I'm going to set my under eye with my e.l.f. High Definition Under Eye Setting Powder. I swear by this stuff. It is so good. I ran out of my Laura Mercier, but sometimes I just like this better. And it's so small. It's so nice to travel with. And I'm using my Morphe M438. And I'm just going to set that and swirl it around. I'm going to set the cream bronzer, and I'm going to use my Studio Powder by BH Cosmetics. This is in 235, and it's just a really nice bronzy shade for my skin tone. Now for some contouring, I'm going to go in with my Anastasia Powder Contour Kit and my e.l.f. I don't know what kind of brush this is, but it's really good, and it looks like this. It's good because it gets in the hollows of your cheeks, and I also use it for my nose because I don't like my nose to be super contoured. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dip it into Fawn, and you're going to go right into your hollows of your cheeks. So what I do is I kind of pounce it first, and then I swipe it back and forth, not too heavy, just because you want it to blend out, but you don't want to move the product underneath it. I really tap off the excess, and I just go down the sides of my nose and just pounce like this. And I bring it up into my eye sockets. For highlight, I'm going to go in with my Champagne Pop by Jaclyn and another Real Techniques brush. I believe this is their setting brush. I traveled with mine like an idiot. I went on a cruise, and I flew to Florida to get to the cruise. So I don't know who messed it up, but they shattered it, and I had to do that alcohol fix test, and it worked, but mine didn't turn out as pretty as everyone's does on Instagram. So I don't know how they're doing that because I'm kind of a perfectionist and I could not get it to get right. I'm gonna put it on the tip of my nose. For some reason, this is what I get the most compliments on in person. I don't know why, but And then obviously a tiny bit on the Cupid's bow. My lips are small, so I don't like to bring too much attention to them. And then you're gonna go on the high points of your face. I like to focus most of the product right here, and then I'll take it into my brow bone and lightly bring it onto my cheeks. That way it's really blended out. Now that we're done with that, I'm going to go on to my brows, and I'm using my Anastasia Tinted Brow Gel in Caramel. So what I like to do is take it out like this and scrape off all the excess off the top. The problem with my brows is this one is thicker than this one. I know, well, maybe you can tell on camera, but the front of this brow is nice and thick, and this one is kind of short and weird. So what I like to do is take this and lightly go upward to do brow hair like strokes. I hate that word. This really helps me even out like the shape of my brows in the front. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, but I'm going to focus more product on that side. So what I'm going to do next is jump back into my Anastasia contour kit and just shape out the bottom of my brows with a Bdellium Tools 762. Just going to use Fawn again. I'm just going to start underneath and start carving them out. This brow doesn't need too much product. So literally I just fill in the bottom and then like carve out this top part. So now I'm going to set my brows with a clear brow gel. This one's from Milani. I usually use the Anastasia one, but I have ran out and I just haven't had the chance to go get another one. And I had this in my drawers from a drugstore tutorial that I did, and it's really good. So I like to kind of pile this on because not only does it keep my brow hairs in place, it really defines each hair and it gives my brows a really textury feel, which is what I really like. So now, of course, I'm going to carve out the bottom of my brows, and I'm going to use my Morphe M432 and the Morphe concealer that I use and go in. For me, this step is so important because I like my brows to look really full and natural, but also kind of perfected. So I don't carve out the tops of my brows, I just carve out the bottom. So now that we're done with the brows, I'm going to move on to eyes. They're really simple. I'm going to use my favorite palette at the moment, the Kathleen Lights and Morphe palette. Mine's really dirty because I've been traveling with it. So you have a huge option of these shades. You can go from an everyday to a super dramatic look. I took this to Vegas with me when I went for 3 nights, and it covered all of my looks from day to night. I'm going to take my Morphe 502 and I'm going to dip into this shade, and I'm going to tap off the excess because these are pigmented. And this is going to be like my transition shade, so we're just going to throw that in there. I'm not exactly sure what happened to the footage here, but I'm just taking my MAC 217 and the red brown shade and just using that on my outer corner. Next, I'm going to go in with this gold shade and I'm going to put that all over my lid. And I'm just going to use my pinky. Then I'm going to go in with the white gold shade and really focus that on the inner corner. And I'm also going to use this as my inner corner highlight. So once you're finished with all that, you're going to go in with the first blending brush and just kind of soften all the edges really, really lightly. Then I'm going to go in with my True Match Concealer Crayon by Loreal. And I'm going to use this on my waterline. It's kind of big and chunky, but I really like this product because it's so long lasting and it does not move on me. It's so waterproof. Putting a liner that's skin tone inside your eyes is going to really open them and brighten them. So I'm going to go back in with this shade right here. This is the first transition shade. And I'm going to kind of pack this on the brush. I'm using my e.l.f. smudge brush. So we're just going to smudge it underneath the eye. I like this brown color for everyday for me because it brings out the green in my eyes because it is like a red based brown. I'm gonna dip into this red brown right here and I'm gonna use this to kind of do an eyeliner look underneath my eye. Get that really close, and I'm only going on the outer corner to about the middle of my eye. I'm gonna throw these falsies on off camera. They're just the Eylure 143s. They're my favorites because my camera is about to die. So I put on my eyelashes. I use my Better Than Sex mascara on the top and then my Better Than Sex waterproof on the bottom. I do this because I'm looking down at hair a lot of the time when I'm doing hair at weddings, and if I'm not wearing waterproof, the oils from my under eyes kind of smudge that underneath. So pro tip. Now onto my lips. I'm gonna go something with a nude just because I like to model my makeup the way I would do a bridesmaid's makeup. So usually I suggest nude lipstick, but I do want something that's long lasting. So I'm gonna go in with my NYX Slide On Glide On. It's a long name. Slide On, Glide On, Stay On, and definitely a Turn On waterproof lip liner. This one is in the shade Need Me. It's a little darker for a nude, but that's good for photos in a wedding. This lip liner is actually a really good one. It doesn't move. Like, I swatched it on my hand and I went to go wipe it off with a paper towel and it would not come off. So I would say that's probably pretty comparable to the MAC Pro Longwear. Now I'm gonna go over it with my regular NYX lip liner in soft brown and create like a custom lip shade. Then to finish off the look, I'm going to use my Vanish Vitamin C Elixir. This is just going to kind of help set all the powders. This product was actually sent to me by Vanish, so thank you so much for the entire kit. But this is my favorite so far, and it's just so good. I use it for like everything. Alright guys, this is the finished look. I hope you liked it. If you have any questions for me, please leave them down below. I will be more than happy to answer them. If you're interested in seeing what I do the morning of the wedding to make the bride feel more comfortable and ways you can really accelerate your business, then please keep watching. Okay, so my first tip is gonna be obviously being extremely presentable. This is exactly how I would show up to a wedding. This is one of my favorite dresses. It's just kind of off the shoulder. I bought it from Missguided. If you guys are interested, it's super cute. I wear this dress to probably 80% of my weddings. It's my favorite. I always wear a dress, wear some cute shoes, make sure they're comfortable because you're gonna be on your feet for a very long time. And I always do my hair, whether it's straight or curled. I also always do my makeup the way I would do a bridesmaid's makeup, as if she asked me to do whatever she thinks looks best. Blush tones are really in right now. As you can see, I do have like reddish browns on my eyes and kind of a mauvey lip. Most bridesmaids nowadays, I find that at least in Southern California, they're wearing either champagne or blush gowns, which is really pretty, so you want to keep the makeup pretty neutral. I don't wear eyeliner just because I feel like that makes the eyes a little more dramatic, and I want to be able to gauge my bridesmaids if they want to do something like this, which is kind of medium to full coverage, or if they want to go more natural or even more dramatic. Another tip I have is to always make sure that your nails look good. I have a darker color than I normally wear right now, and my hands never look like this, by the way. They're really orange right now from my tan. I need to wash it off, but regardless, I always have my nails done. You never want to have chipped nails because the photographers really want to get in there and get those shots, and your hands are going to be all up in those pictures. I try to wear more nude tone nail polishes. Since it is winter, I did go a little darker, but it is in the middle of the week and I'll probably change it by the weekend. Another tip is to always be on time. I was always taught if you weren't 15 minutes early, you were late. So punctuality is very important, especially on a wedding day. I usually get there 30 minutes early to set my stuff up, and I always let my brides know. I cannot imagine starting my job late because I am the first vendor they see. I set the mood for the entire day, so if I'm late, then everything runs late. So obviously social media is a huge help for all of us out there, especially wedding vendors. Instagram is probably my biggest form of free advertisement, which is great because it literally costs no money and just a little bit of effort, and it can take you so far. I've actually booked quite a ton of brides from Instagram this year, which is really exciting for me because this is the first time I've really taken notice in that. That being said, word of mouth is probably where I get most of my referrals, and I think that's a huge compliment because that just means people are referring me. So I have a couple things that I think contribute to that. One of them is my thank you cards. So I always get the bride's home address and I send a thank you card. Isn't that right, Jessica? She's so pretty. Now I send a half business card with a couple reviews and a few bridesmaid pictures on the back. And then also, this is my front advertisement. It has my phone number, my email, my website, and then my Instagram name as well. And then I send a cute thank you note and write pretty lengthy letters in there. So that's what that's for. A lot of the times I get a thank you note the morning of the wedding, but if not, most of the time my brides will send me one back to my thank you note, which is like so fun, I think. And I get to put it on my thank you wall in my office. I would love to think the main reason why I get referred for is my skill level and also my personality, but another reason is my personalized champagne flutes and wine glasses. So if you go on my Instagram, you will see that I sell these, but I always throw in the brides for free. So I will show up the morning of with either a champagne flute with the bride's name on it. This one just says bride because I keep this in my office. Lately I've been doing the bride's name in like a white glitter and then the rest of the girls in whatever color their bridesmaid dresses are, or gold, whatever's requested. It's a really fun way to make the morning more special for the bride and her girls, and who doesn't love a mimosa the morning of a wedding? Another really good tip is to keep things digital. So I do everything on my iPad through a couple apps, and this is where I do my contracts. This is what my contracts look like. So it's the first piece of information. It's gonna have the bride's email, the bride's address, the bride's name. You always wanna get the groom's last name because you never know what reservation it's gonna be under. The location for me, the wedding date, the photographer's name, the photographer's Instagram, all of that good stuff. And then obviously the second page is all the services. And then I have my terms and conditions. So with this app, you can sign it with your finger and I can shoot it straight to their email. I usually set this up the day of the trial. That way we can go over everything, talk about everything, and everything's pretty clear. And then I'll shoot it straight to their email just so they have it and they can access it on their phone right away. And then quickly, I'm just gonna wrap this up with my last tip, and this is a really obvious one, but keep your kit clean always. Keeping it very presentable and very compact. You don't wanna take up too much room wherever your bride's getting ready, and you wanna make sure that it is very, very clean. You're messing with people's faces. I know how I am about my own skin, and I'm very cautious with certain things. So you want to be able to build that trust with your clients and let them know you're going to be extremely careful with their skin and what you're putting on their face. If you guys have any other questions for me, like I said, just please leave them down below or email me, message me on Instagram. My Instagram is @hairandmakeup_by_Sydney. I would love to talk to you guys if you guys are interested in becoming a makeup artist or starting your own business. It's a really, really, really fun job. So I hope you guys started out 2017 with some goals. I know I have some, and I have stuck to them so far. What is it, the 12th? So I've been doing pretty good. Let me know what your resolutions are down below, and maybe we can chat about them. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!